From vegetables to dairy, up to 80% of Qatar's food was once globally sourced. But global trade disruptions pushed the country away from imports towards independence. Qatar's food supply has been challenged several times over the last decade. But instead of relying solely on the support of others, it spurred the country to develop its own solutions, planting seeds of change locally and from the ground up. But in a country that has more sand than soil, forging food security isn't so straightforward. So what does it take to grow resilience closer to home? I'm Laila Humaira, and this is Qatar in Motion. Did you know that a decade ago, a carton of frozen vegetables like eggplants or lettuce would have traveled thousands of kilometers before reaching supermarket shelves in Qatar? Meanwhile, bottles of cranberry juice would have had to be imported from GCC neighbors like the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Fast forward to today, Qatar is nearly completely self-sufficient, producing almost all of the vegetables and dairy it consumes, and even exports the agricultural surplus. The numbers show great success and prove that large-scale food production is possible here. But how? I'm about an hour's drive north of Doha in the middle of a desert, an unlikely place for fruits and vegetables to grow. Yet all around me, coriander, cucumber and eggplant grow all year round. So I'm here to see for myself how this farm defies nature, producing a steady harvest despite a harsh climate, and to see how it manages to supply up to 90% of Qatar's fresh produce. This is Nasser Al-Khalaf. In 2011, he started running the country's only hydroponics organic farm on 12 hectares of land. Today, that land has more than doubled, and Agrico has become Qatar's leading agricultural company.
Right here we have the cherry tomato, and we start plantation in August, every August for the cherry tomato. So this is the hydroponic system. We have the grow bags. The grow bags has coconut fiber. Oh, wow. So the coconut fiber is actually, it replaced the soil for us. So instead of soil, we use a natural product like a coconut fiber. So it has coconut chips and the cocoa peat. There is no add value of the coconut fiber itself other than preserving the water and releasing the water slowly. Instead of the natural soil actually release the water much faster than the coconut fiber.
Other than hydroponics and vertical farming, Agrico also uses aquaponics as a farming method, which it's able to do by cultivating its own fish and aquaculture. Nasser's family has been in the food trading industry for more than 70 years, and it's from this experience that came the foresight to establish the company.
We knew back then that we were below the red line in terms of food security, especially with fruits and vegetables. Everything in Qatar is actually against agriculture. So we had to adapt and we had to create the right temperature, the right humidity, the right amount of water, quality of water, the right supply chain, the right material. We had to source all the material individually and to make sure that we are using the best material.
As industries align with Qatar National Vision 2030, the road to being self-sustaining is increasingly paved with a commitment to sustainability. So, farmers growing food where nature says no are now asking how they can do so while using less resources. Leading the way is Agrico, making the farm green in more ways than one.
All the waste in Agrico, from organic waste, even the excess water usage, the water is being recycled 3 times to make sure that we are taking the optimum consumption of the water. We are producing around 120 tons every week of organic waste. All of this is being treated and being composted, which will again go back to different farms, even in Agrico, and to landscape companies to produce new plants, to produce new vegetable, and those vegetables goes back to the market.
This circularity, Nasser believes, is not only good for the environment, but also the business strategy. In recent years, strong yields have enabled Agrico to export its agricultural surplus to neighboring countries. Revenue growth has allowed the company to expand its operations and explore new technology, such as using LED lights for horticulture, which will further help reach Qatar's food security goals.
Food security is divided into two sections. So one part is local production, but the other part is logistics, distribution, manufacturing, and supply chain. So the logistics and supply chain and distribution, we have to focus on things that we should not grow locally. Things like grains, rice, sugar, oil products and things like that. No, we should not focus on growing it locally. We have to have a proper facility to import, manufacture, and downstream from there. The other part, which is I think the most difficult part, is local production. From farming, vegetable, poultry, red meat, cattle, livestock, aquaculture, all these kind of things, it has to be produced locally. It can be produced because it's a short shelf life product. We cannot store it for a long time, and we cannot depend on other countries to secure our needs.
Still, Qatar isn't looking to replace all imports completely, but rather building a food system that is resilient and shock resistant. The country was already quietly building the foundations of self-sufficiency, and one crisis after another forced it to scale them up for the better. Beyond the technologies that help crops thrive and roadmaps that guide Qatar's vision is another intricate ecosystem, one that is led by nature. A network of pollinators, their role in agriculture goes far beyond the buzz, and one the country hopes will eventually bear fruit on a large scale.
Bees are extremely important. Our food, 30% of our food production depends on the fertilization, pollination by bees. So if bees don't exist, we will lose 30% of the world agriculture product, which is huge. When I came here at the end of 23 as an advisor, I saw so many trees here. So my first reaction as a Yemeni, because we like honey and bees, I asked, do you keep bees here? And they told me no, there are no bees in Education City. But they told me that somebody in the development section is interested in beekeeping, which is Simon. So we became partner in this, and we got approval of the leadership of Qatar Foundation to start our apiary here in Qatar Foundation, in the Education City. Our production cycle starts in late August, early September, and by mid-November we harvest the cedar honey, which is the most valuable, most sought-after honey.
So the cedar honey has got a really, really unique taste. It's a monofloral type of honey, and it's got lots of medicinal benefits. Right now, the cedar season has just finished, so the flowers have stopped blooming and the nectar has stopped flowing, so now's the right time to harvest. This morning we went to the Education City apiary and we harvested honey from 10 beehives. So generally the bees are pretty calm, to be honest, but when we go and do the inspections we have to wear these suits, we wear the gloves, and then we put our hoods on, and then we use a smoker just to smoke the bees to kind of calm them down, and then that's when we start taking out the frames. So we take the frames out of the hives, we bring all of the frames here to Green Island. Then we take the wax cappings off, and then we put it into the extractor, and then through a centrifugal process it spins out and all the honey flies out, and then we keep it in steel drums for around a month.
We can save 99% of the bees, and also we don't harvest all the honey that they are producing, so we leave a lot of honey also for them to start new season. We are producing an average of 7.5 kilos per hive. Usually in Qatar, the average is around between 4 and 5 kilos. But we hope in the future to have a facility with lecture room and maybe outside area with secure glass to have few hives for demonstration, so we can invite more students, and they are safe. They don't need to wear clothes, protective clothes. They are behind glass, and we explain to them the importance of bees and all these issues.
So we've seen how Qatar is tackling food resilience from several different aspects. So what's next? And how can the country prepare for food challenges of the future? Researchers at Hamad bin Khalifa University have embarked on a new study to figure it all out.
In collaboration with our government partners, we've been doing research to look at what has worked really well in the past to help us overcome some of those challenges, and what are the transferable lessons from those. So what happened in 2017 is different than what happened in 2020, but there are transferable lessons about how we build resilience into our systems. So that's what we're doing in the College of Public Policy, is to look across how can we build resilience from successful lessons here. So in 2017, as a result of investing in infrastructure like ports, as a result of investing in infrastructure like roads and storage and so forth, we were able to overcome the shock of having our food trade disrupted when COVID came. So these lessons give us insight about how we can build resilience into our broader system, not only food security, but throughout the government and throughout society.
From bees to hydroponics to desert-defying farming methods, the seeds of resilience Qatar planted years ago have yielded a strong sense of security and confidence that even in uncertain times, crisis can be turned into opportunity. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for watching Qatar in Motion, and see you next time.